Who's present there?
Patrick?
Got Terry.
Okay.
Benny?
Randy Turner.
Alan.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm here,
Randy?
John.
Yeah, Randy, you ready to take
Yes.
over?
Derek's here too.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I got first thing I have would be Benny. He sent me a late copy of the minutes. Did anybody else get them to look at them? Do you want to do minutes, or do you want to just let them ride until we have an official get together, or what?
I got him.
I got him. I saw him.
I
Okay.
apologize for getting those out so late, guys. For some reason, it just fell off the radar. I forgot to get them out.
Yeah.
John, they look pretty good. If you want to call for a motion and a vote, go right ahead.
Okay, if you're satisfied with what's in the minutes, all right, to have a motion to approve the minutes.
I'd so move.
I second it.
All right, all right, second it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Okay, anybody else? Okay, meeting or the minutes
Next would be claims. I had claims next, John. I know we can't
Okay.
pass them around, but everybody, Deirdre, I think, sent them out. We're up ahead of time for everybody to look at.
she did.
So,
Okay, any problems? Any questions or comments on the claims?
I didn't have any.
No comment.
Does anybody have any other questions?
Nah.
None?
Looks like we're
Okay.
just paying the bills.
Okay, if there's no questions or comments concerning the claims, I have a motion to approve the claims.
Make a motion.
I'll
All
second.
right, all right, the motion for second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, Randy. Claims are
okay,
approved.
just a couple more things, and then I will turn it over to Derek, who's been taking over Guinevere's place on the contract with ESG. But I wanted to report on the gas utility with the shutoffs not being made. We would have on the 5th of April, we would have had 268 unpaid accounts this is in the gas utility alone, for $43,680.92. By the 13th, without doing the red tag, we were down to 146, 23,796, and normally we have about 80 when we red tag and hang on the door. And today is a due date, and Candy is supposed to get me a report either tomorrow or Wednesday as to where we will stand, and I will have that information for everybody as far as how we're doing. Because like I say, this is our most important season for the gas, and we're still reading. I've got Brady Fentress, who's came in. His school is on lockdown, so he's doing all his classes at night. Brady has been reading meters and on the gas only, and he's also been doing our mowing and trimming on the days that he could do that. We definitely want to be able to bill all of our gas meters, by looking at them, especially, this month, and the way the cold weather's hanging on, probably next month too, if this ESG thing don't start working. But that's where we stand. And like I say, I'll have more on the collections. The go-ahead has been given to Leary Tank. May 3rd, the tank will start going down. May 4th, we'll go on bypass, and then it'll be theirs for 75 days. to get that work done. Pleasant View hasn't started, even though I told McGraw they can start. He's been doing the digging for Paul Rowe, so I didn't want to press him because I know he needs, probably, I don't think there's any hurry to get up to Pleasant View. The other thing that bounced off my desk was the contract for the Okra grant for the master plan study, which the utility people and the mayor, Mark, when he was a councilman, and Guinevere, we all did the interviews and had selected GRW. So there's been a contract signed for that. Benny, one more thing. I do need a city tax exempt statement if you can manage to send that down to me.
Sure can.
Now, we would get into the issues with ESG, of course, number one being the unpaid invoices. That number 4 goes back to last month and then this month. Number 4, the current payment was due $141,819 and 80 cents, and then this month is $190,675.67. It came in late. And Benny, I don't know if you had a copy of it earlier, but like I say, I didn't get one, so Todd sent one this afternoon.
For pay application
some of these
6.
issues, but I'll let Derek go over that. But one thing that was up in the air, there's 236 gas meters that have to be changed, and we're represented by USDI engineers out of Olney, Illinois, and my rep through them has been telling me all along that ESG had to be certified. So just this afternoon, Todd sent me a letter where they approached Pipeline Safety at the state level, and Pipeline Safety is saying that they don't have to be. They're more concerned with the city's policy on who's going to go in and relight the furnaces and the water heaters, which at this time it stands that ESG doesn't want to do that. So we gave them a price of $30 each if we have to do it. But in the meantime, like I say, the Bill Boyd at the Pipeline Safety has responded that they don't have to be certified. And I sent this to USDI, and they have our engineer, and they say, in their opinion, that with our operator plan calling for anybody who works on that stuff, and I gave all the reasons. I sent that to Derek, and I sent it to Alan. We can get into that tomorrow and discuss that deeper if you guys have time to do so. To clear that issue up, because that is a major issue. Of course, the other thing is they can't get gas meters there's a considerable delay on gas meters. So that is one of the issues that, is being cleared up by Alan and Derek. So
time out there
at
real
this
quick.
point,
We sent this to them. Who is them to say that this is? I mean, if we're getting chatter back and forth, what did we send to who?
So we drafted up kind of a proposal to kind of, I guess, come to a compromise, or if you will, or at least, continue this project forward. And it was really more or less just an agreement of what we want to see happen for us to, continue this agreement and, for us to be in a better position. Right now, I think the big thing that we're running into is what Randy mentioned. They have agreed to go back and look at all the issues we brought up to them. They've double checked all the lids. They're checking leaks. We're working on getting them a list. Randy sent them a list of costs that the utility departments incurred
Right,
because of all
right. I'm
this.
just asking, it sounded like there was specifically an entity that we responded to asking for something else. And maybe I missed that. I apologize if I did.
That is ESG.
Well, I know ESG, but it sounded like we were asking for outside opinion on
Uh,
this.
no. Oh, you're talking about what? Yes. For the certification part, there has been some outside opinions, and I guess ESG asked. Randy, is that an organization with the state? Is that pipeline safety or?
Okay. Pedal Valve approached the state pipeline safety and asked them if they needed to be certified to change a meter. Well, the head of pipeline safety said, no, you don't. So I shared that with our engineering firm, which is USDI out of Olney, Illinois. And our engineer through them says that we have a operating and maintenance manual that calls for anyone who does that work to be certified and operator trained. So what I will do in the morning is I will share with them what Bill Boyd has said, and if he wants to, Darren of USDI, if he wants to approach Bill Boyd and say, this is where this stands, because like I say, we have these operator plans, and if you deviate from them and you do not follow them and something happens, you blow up a house or burn a house down, and you've got a book that says you're supposed to be doing this kind of procedures, then that's my worry is, are we accepting the liability for letting someone that's not trained when we've got a O&M manual that says those people have to be? So, like I say, Bill Boyd may not be aware of all the circumstances, or if he's kosher with it and USDI says, well, if the state is backing down, because like I say, that we just spent major money, probably around $10,000, in getting all of our people to take these certification classes and to be certified, that they know how to do all this stuff. So if they can wave a magic wand, then, let them wave that magic wand again and say, well, Aurora doesn't have to train their workers. They can just go out and get somebody off the street and let them have at it. So that's my concern. And like I say, that's my biggest issue right now, because the money that we have spent on the leaks that when USDI or ESG was saying they're not going to fix them, Todd is saying at this point that they will reimburse us, or of some sort. Derek will know more on that, but the other issues as far as what we have there on the table, Alan, was it your recommendation that we could go ahead and process these payments? And because like I say, I don't know on what basis we would have to stop them. They did send me a list today of the water meters that are inside, and there's 6 of those out of 12, looks like 28. 6 of them are already done that they could go ahead and do. 4 of them are above the subway and the ceiling over there on the DJ's Bakery and those and the strip mall. So I don't see any reason on a commercial business why they can't go in and do those. One of them is Tony Conley's big Beehive Apartments here on Main Street. They don't have to go into a living area to get to that meter, but they can go right down into the boiler room and change it. The one that Tony does have up by the feed mill, the meters are in the apartments, and I guess that would be the thing, Mayor, is I think at one time you said, well, we were under the governor's alert that do you really want anybody going in to the residence, or do we let the resident make the call, for them to go in and do them? Some of them on this list are people that we have frequent issues with. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and change them, move their meter outside, and let Pedal Valve put a new meter outside. That way, in the future, when we do shut-offs and business resumes as normal, it's a lot easier to shut off if the meter is outside. I hate to be that way, but like I say, some of these people are, they know that if the meter is in the house and you just got a valve outside, they'll park over top of it and they won't let you, shut their water off. So this would kind of give us a little bit of a help there. So, and the casket company, that was one big one that's still waning. They have, they're running 6 days a week out there for all you guys. So it looks like a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday will have to be when they will do that big meter out there. But like I say, most of the issues Derek and Alan are working on. Derek, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I would just like to reiterate kind of our message there that, we are recommending that we move forward and pay the outstanding, bills that or invoices they're invoicing. From looking through the contract, it seems to me that the city's agreed to pay this $2.2 million regardless. And if we want to have termination as a potential offer, we at least position
I can't hear you, Derek. You're cutting out, so I can't hear you at all.
Okay.
Hey, Patrick, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Derek's the only one that cuts out. He cut out last week, too. I couldn't
He
hardly hear.
did. I know. We'll have to tighten that up. You got to have nice stuff like Guinevere to be able to be the city manager of Aurora, so you can go ahead and do that. Hey, listen, where we are right now, we've got two outstandings with this group, and I think we brought them back to the table. Patrick, thanks to you for when we sat there in that meeting, calling them out in the carpet about, these are some of the things we've got some real concerns about with our staff. I think we're beyond a little bit pregnant right now. We need to go ahead and pay them for the work that's been done, and we need to hold their feet to the fire and get this damn thing completed and just move on from it, is my opinion.
Mayor, what's your opinion about this?
Okay, let me unmute. I have been eavesdropping and participating in the last two meetings we've had with ESG over the last 2 weeks. We took a pretty extensive list of complaints to them. And in my opinion, based on what they've done, they addressed every one of them. They were very accommodating to say, what can we do to make this right? They understood both ESG and Pedal Valve were in attendance at both of these meetings, and they were very accommodating. They're willing to pay us back for the work we perform. So I'm in favor of going ahead and paying them. They were at my place today working on my gas meter. The ones where they just have to change out the reading dials is pretty easy. I'm not crazy about them changing out meters if they don't have the certification. So I want to continue discussing that with them. Just give Pipeline a chance to weigh in and everybody else. I think we need to pay them. We need to get finished with this project. What Randy said about some adjustments we need to make about moving meters outside. I think that's great. I think we should do that. The commercial building, let's go ahead and do those. No reason to hold up. So everything you said there, Randy, I agree with. Let's just get her done. I want to make sure that it works the way it's supposed to work. And
And
just
Mark,
get finished with this and move on.
if I can add to that just a little bit, particularly with the gas meters, if that comes down to, our highly trained and qualified staff taking care of this, as long as they are good with, giving that money back off of the contract as they're saying they're offering to do for what's already been done, I think that's great. But at this point, I'm going to say again, we owe them the money, pay them. Let's move this thing forward and try to stay on the best possible terms.
What about the little girl who fell in the hole? Did they ever get that cleared up?
You know what, Pat? We never heard anything more about it. And I don't.
No claim has been made or anything yet at this point.
They were looking to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, no claim.
Hey, Randy.
Your insurance, Terry, you can go back 2 years on that, can't you?
Hey, Randy, how much do we owe these gas people?
You got 2 invoices.
Yeah.
The oldest one is $141,819, and the most recent that was just turned in is $196.75, and that leaves outstanding. There's still $654,665 worth of work to do.
That means the 231 gas meters that need to be changed. Is that the amount that you're talking about?
Yes, that'll be part of that. That's still outstanding.
We got the money to do it. Since we got unpaid bills, I'm just wondering if we got enough money to pay that.
John, this money we do have. This is being held in, I guess, escrow at U.S. Bank. They're hanging on.
Okay.
They're hanging on to it until it's requested through these invoices, and once they're approved by you guys, I'll sign the form, send it off to the bank, and then the bank sends the money to ESG. So this is all part of the loan that we did receive. The portion that we haven't sent out yet, it's just kind of sitting in escrow for us as kind of a savings account. We still have to pay it back, but it is we do have this money on hand. Yes.
Okay, I'm in favor, like the rest of them. We ought to go ahead and pay them. I believe what Mark said is the thing we ought to do.
Can you guys hear me? I think I got my audio figured out. I can kind of just add to that a little bit.
Yeah, we
I'm
can.
sorry.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going through the contract, the way I understand it.
Well, now we can't hear you at all.
Not at all. Still. Can you hear me?
And now.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's going in and out. There's a process for termination, and I think that if we are going to consider that route, we need to position ourselves better. And part of that is we should go ahead and pay this invoice now. And, we would have to send them a list of things that we want corrected and give them a 30-day period to kind of not meet our demands. And then we can go through that process of termination. But we're still obligated to pay this $2.2 million. So I think it's in everyone's best interest to try to work out our differences and get the work done. But either way, $2.2 million is coming from the city. I don't know how well you can still hear me. I can kind of go into that in further detail.
We can hear you.
Okay.
I do have a third invoice that was just received, Randy. Did you get pay application number 6?
No, I've got 4 and 5. I don't have a number 6.
I'll forward that on over to you, and then as I do that, I'll tell everybody what's in it. What is in this one? It's kind of another it's a monthly breakdown of the things that the work that they've been doing. The pay application number 6, which is for, I believe, the March work. There we go. Let me get it forwarded to Randy so he can look at it as I'm speaking. The work on this time, it was some additional water meter materials, a fair amount of water meter labor, some gas meter materials, and also gas meter labor. It's kind of a break, it's pretty well about the same kind of breakdown that we see each month from these guys. This is through March 31st, it looks like, and this one is for a total of $221,127.34. The previous bills were for January was pay application 4, pay application 5 was February, and then pay application 6 was March, and it just came in today.
I'm sorry, Benny. I had the phone went off behind me. Pay application 4 is that about in the same ballpark, about 225?
It was lower, I think. It was. They've all been kind of about in the same dollar amount, $200,000 plus or minus based on the amount of work they were probably able to do.
Which we budgeted for.
It's budgeted. It's funds that are there. It's just, my feeling is we could probably say, you know what, we'll pay 4 and 5 because we're comfortable with that. But since Randy hasn't been able to look at 6 yet, we could probably say that we're going to wait on 6, but go ahead and get 4 and 5.
I would agree with that entirely.
I would too.
Well, see, that was one of the issues that I had, because when this started, I sat right here and I told Guinevere and Donnie that the meter totals were not accurate. And I said, what happens if if they put in more meters than what's quoted? And I said, they haven't gave us a line item, which we never really saw a line item until they presented their first invoice. They just came in and said they were going to do the job for $2.2 million. And I understand what Alan's saying, that, without the line items and that, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot there, is what I feel. So, I mean, I can't see, on what grounds we would challenge them. So.
Well, and one of the things too with the termination, the language in the termination agreement, we have to give them an opportunity to fix it on their own. And that's kind of what we're doing with this, I think, is you give them a chance to fix it.
On the termination agreement at this point, I mean, that's really going to be a situation that's messy for the city utility.
Right.
Let's just try to get through this project and get it done.
Terminate them.
Go ahead.
Well, you're still going to pay them $2.2 million. So why would you terminate them? Get all the work you can out.
All we got to do is not do all the meters. We leave a couple meters undone. Job never gets done. They don't get a dime. Take us to court. They're unqualified.
Well, I mean,
I know they're going to pay this money. These are just my feelings.
Document, Pat Swing, that says, they have to meet these bid, the contract was wrote by them as to what they're going to do. We don't have no say in any of it. So,
and that's what we need to do, is just hold their
everything that we brought up, they're making an effort to address. And it's kind of like the mayor says, they would go into court and say, well, we've been very accommodating, and the court would listen to them. And I mean, we don't have nothing, nobody represented us in writing these specs. It was all done by ESG. So,
well, no, that's not, Randy, that's not true. That's something that I absolutely was there and was part of it. But I mean, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that you and I weren't. I mean, I shudder to say this, but I mean, the pressure was on to get this thing done, and we were going to swallow whatever the contract said, and that was going to be that. And I think, I mean, that's my recollection of it. But no, I absolutely had a hand in that, getting reviewed. And shame on me, and shame on everybody else for not looking at it harder. But I think we can sit here and talk about how to put the car out. The car is on fire. We can sit here and talk about how to put the car out, and that's fine. But And we got to figure a way to move forward and get to where we're going too. And we're way too far down the road to act like we didn't know what was going on with this. I would
Alan,
like to think
Talk
a
about this
multi-million-dollar company would have people qualified to put in these damn things. And that's where I'm saying shame on us for not, for assuming that, I guess. But when they come in, 7 or 8 deep to every meeting that we had on this, then next, we signed a contract and then they're the fuck out of town. I don't know, what else we could have done. I mean, we're here.
Alan hit the nail on the head.
right.
The utility board
Well
itself,
down this road.
the utility board itself, the superintendent, everybody was very nervous about this entire process. There was 2 people in the city government that were saying, get it done, make it happen, let's get moving. Those 2 people are no longer with us. Those 2 people are also not on the utility board. But that's, we inherit these things. We move on with them.
Right.
I agree. I think we should get them paid. It gives us the best standing later if we do have issues. But it needs to be a lesson to us that if we're not comfortable with it, we don't make the motion to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's move on.
Yeah, but yeah, we should have absolutely trusted our gut on this. I mean, we knew from the beginning that everybody walked out of the room covered with slime. It felt like every time.
Can we just move past what used to be? I mean, that's the rearview mirror. We are where we are. We need to pay these 2 work orders that are due, and I would make a motion to go ahead and do that.
Han made a motion to approve pay application 4, 5, and 6.
No, 4 and 5. If Randy hasn't seen 6,
Okay. Thank you.
let's jump ahead.
Randy, you have any problems with that?
No.
He's out. Well,
Like I say, the bulk of them, are material, and the materials here in the garage.
Okay.
Which means what?
Well, like I say, as long as they're on site, it's going into the ground, and they have to make it operational.
And we'll hold them to that, but we're going to have to be in good standing with them to make that happen. So
Yes, that's the thing.
The pay orders we have, 4 and 5, again, I would make a motion that those get paid. And if you have not seen order number 6 yet, where we can talk about it intelligently, which I don't know if we could, whether you had it or not. But just go ahead.
I would take number 6 back to the council meeting, Terry. That's where you was considering them in the first place.
Let's take it back to, let's just be current on what we owe these folks and continue to try to straighten these things out.
I will say this, if they do get paid for 4 and 5, they won't get another dime until everybody is certified to put these gas meters and everything else in.
Well,
they won't.
We'll have that issue addressed before then.
Patrick, I just lost everybody. Are you still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
My thought would be, from here on out, I mean, if we're considering addendums to this contract, if we take on the gas meter work, then we amend the contract to reflect that Aurora is going to actually replace the gas meters with our qualified employees, and they have to go ahead and give back that part of the contract. It sounds like they're doing that anyway, Randy, isn't it?
Well, that's one of the options on the table.
Then I think that's a good one for us to consider, and then we won't be paying anybody for work that they're not doing or they're not qualified.
What it comes down to is if we do it cheaper than what they already agreed to, we have to pay the difference. So we could do it that way. It's just, we just may end up still having to pay them a little bit.
Not if our guys are $100 an hour.
That's true. If we can justify it, yeah.
There's a way to do that.
Yeah. And if it goes over,
I kind of want to say go ahead and pay them, but does that take some of the power away from us to renegotiate this gas deal if they already got that money in their pocket?
I don't think so. I think we're just going ahead and paying them for what they've done, and we go ahead as long as we're in good conversation with them to say that going forward we don't trust them to do the gas meter work as far as the switch outs. We go ahead and take it on ourselves. They need to reduce their expectations accordingly.
There's a process to do this, and we should have started it sooner, I suppose. But right now we're obligated to pay them 30 days after receiving the invoice, and I think we should hold up our end of the contract and then force them to hold up their end as well.
Absolutely. Uh-oh. You guys still there?
Yep, I still
Hey,
see
Terry,
it.
you making a motion? Terry, you making a motion to pay 4 and 5? Is that what you're doing?
I've done it twice.
Brandy, what's your recommendation?
I say go ahead and pay them. I haven't seen 6 yet. We can let that go until the next meeting.
All right. But Terry made a motion to pay it. Is there a second?
Come on, Patrick. I know you're going to have to swallow hard on that. Go.
Joey's on there. What's Joey doing?
I just lost it. I
I'm
can hear
back.
you guys, but I can't see you anymore.
Patrick, do you second that motion? Are you there?
I'm here.
He's grumbling. He's grumbling.
Randy said we ought to pay him. So, what do you motion? You approve it or not approve it?
I know it's killing you, Pat. Go ahead and it's not making me happy either. Let's go ahead and move this thing forward.
They're going to play hell getting 6. I'll make a motion to pay 4 and 5. I'll second it.
All right. There's a second. There's a motion by Terry and a second by Patrick. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Joey, what are you doing?
Joey, get on here.
Oh, what?
Joey don't want to pay him either.
I don't.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to be approved to pay 4 and 5.
We almost had Joey on there.
Thanks, gentlemen. You're just paying for work that's already been done.
Correct.
Don't have anything else. Like I say, anybody else got anything about the utility board or Derek, you got anything on the streets while you got them?
No, I don't have anything to add. Everything's gone pretty smooth with 3rd Street.
Does anybody want me to call Gwen here and see if she's got something to add?
Randy, I got one question. You said there was something like 258 unpaid gas people?
Yes. That was on April 3rd. And by the 13th, it was whittled down to 146. So the billing today, that the bill that went out in March, the end of March, payable for April 20th, I will be able to tell you those numbers probably tomorrow late or early Wednesday.
Okay. What's your opinion on delinquencies down the road here? People aren't going to get paid.
Well, let's see where the total stands first and see how long that the governor's got a moratorium on it. Because, like I say, I've never been a big proponent of shutting water off unless that's the only thing they have, or if they're wasting it, if they have a leak and they're refusing to fix it. But like I say, the gas, since we have to pay for that I'm in favor as soon as we can cut off the gas. If people, what I would say, if people have been making an attempt and making some type of payment, we will work with them. But if they have thumbed their nose at us and said, why don't you people give us free utilities like Lawrenceburg, then at that point I say turn them off. And that's the way I feel about it.
Right now?
I
We're
think the
not
mayor
allowed to
said
turn
it
them off,
very
Mark.
well, that there's no free gas and water to be had in Aurora. Isn't that right, Mayor?
That is correct.
Okay.
I got,
Sounds good to me.
I got something here. I brought it up to Randy, and I sent Randy a text on it, that lawnmower that went over that lid, that meter lid and tore his lawnmower up. Did you get that, Randy?
No, I didn't get that. When did that come, Pat?
I sent it to you.
They ran over the lid, right?
Oh,
How much
okay.
was it,
I
Pat?
didn't send it to you till today, but yeah, I sent it to somebody else. Yeah, they ran it. I sent you pictures of it. When did I send you the pictures here? Was in March 26th. I sent you the pictures of the lid that got run over and the grass, how it was after it tore its lawnmower up. Did you get them on your phone?
How much was that, Patrick?
The blade itself was only $47, and he put them on himself. But when they redid the meter, they didn't put the thing on it, and it popped up in the air and tore up his mower deck blades.
Well, can you resend it? Because I
see if you
I
have it on your
didn't
phone.
have
You should
anything in that.
Okay, well, I sent it, but I got it on my phone as being sent, but it's $47.76 is what it was for the blades. But yeah, I sent you pictures of all that. I guess maybe you didn't get it on your phone or something.
No,
If
I get anything, it has to be on my email. My flip phone won't pick up that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. I'll send it to your email then.
But it is a
Okay.
very nice flip phone. It's an impressive flip phone.
It is an impressive flip phone.
Gosh dang it, yeah.
Okay, does anybody have any problems with paying that $47.76?
I think Terry Hahn ought to pay it out of the insurance money since we give him so much.
I think that's a really rude comment to make, but I'll send a $50 bill down there and you guys square it up whichever way you need to.
Okay, do we have a motion to pay the bill?
Yes, sir.
That's Terry.
That
Yeah.
is
Patrick?
You got it, Colonel.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay,
Joey?
the motion is approved for second to
We
pay
need
the
a third.
$47.76.
Joey
sorry.
was on there for a second.
I didn't hear what you said, Terry. What?
I said Joey was on here for a second. He ought to make a third. Just go ahead and ask for a third.
Look at him with
Joey?
the 3 fingers.
I can't even see. You say the fingers. I'm guessing they weren't the nicest ones, Pat.
Well, there was 3. As long as he didn't hold the other 2 down on both sides of it, we're good.
All right. Well, I'll just move past it. I'll move past it.
All right, but I'll send you them, Randy, in your email then.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay. Then a first and a second and a motion approved. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. Okay. Randy, it's motion to pay this is there. Is there anything else?
Okay.
Anything else you need to bring up?
No, I'm good.
Anybody else have anything to say? If not, I'll have a motion to adjourn.
I want to ask Randy. Randy, what do you think about maybe sending some, like in people's mail? I don't know. Do we still send their mail out, or is somebody else sending those bills out?
No, we do.
Could we put something in there stating, because I showed something on Facebook about when you get the stimulus check, pay your rent and pay your bills.
Good point. Good point.
Because you are due this at the end of this, even though, and we'll even stress and tell them, we can't shut you off right now with this in effect, but we will shut you off afterwards. We know they're getting this money. We know they're going to spend it, as Donnie would say, on cigarettes and beer, because they can still go and buy that stuff as essential.
Tattoos.
I don't know, should we send something in an envelope stating something to that in a more politically correct effect?
Well,
we will make some kind of plea to the people to pay, and if they have in other words, if they want help, they have to make an effort. So we will push that.
They're getting these stimulus checks. They're getting all this money coming in. They've got the money to pay their bills. And that's what this money is for.
You know what, Patrick? I mean, I saw the link that you'd shared, and Jay Knowles shared the same one. We ought to be using that alert message that we are already spending money on to go ahead and shoot that out to people. And that we haven't used that thing to do anything other than trip over our own feet. So I think it would be a good opportunity to utilize that thing.
You could do that too.
Pay your bills.
But you could do that, but you could put it in an envelope, just like Brandy was saying, some kind of a reminder that these bills are due. They're not going to get paid by anybody else. They need to pay.
It doesn't have to be a mean thing. A friendly reminder can come in a lot of different ways. Just
Exactly.
It helps you out in the long run.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Anything else? Mayor Drury, you have anything?
I think you all have covered it pretty well. I agree with you, Patrick, on the stimulus. A nice reminder. They need to pay their bills. So thanks for all your efforts, guys, for sticking in there. I think in hindsight, when we look back at this meter project, we'll be happy because we're going to have up-to-date drive-by meters. And I think it'll pay off, and it'll take a while for it to do that. So just hang in there. We'll get there.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you much.
Derek, you have anything? Derek, you have anything you want to cover?
No, sir. I think we've got through the meat and potatoes of what we needed to do tonight. Well done, John. Thank you, Colonel.
Derek?
Okay. Let's have a motion to adjourn then.
Also move.
There you go. Okay, motion accepted. Meeting is adjourned.
Sounds good.
Excellent.